At Youngblood Law, we define an uncontested divorce as one where the parties are 100% in agreement on all issues. So if there's any issue that the parties aren't agreed on, then we would call it a contested divorce. A contested divorce by default then is any divorce where the parties are not in agreement on at least one issue. There are a couple of things that you can do that would complicate an uncontested divorce. The first one that comes to mind is some really oddball custom possession schedule. The parties think that they're in alignment, and then they have all these nuanced things that they want in the possession schedule, which complicates things. And over time, the people can become out of alignment because they just don't like all these extra things that are being added in. Another thing that can complicate an uncontested divorce is revisions to the agreement during the drafting process. So they come in, they're wanting one thing, and then all of a sudden, actually, we're not going to sell the house, and husband's going to buy wife out. Well, that adds a degree of complication in the divorce process, because now we have to come to a decision on how much the house is worth so that the other spouse can get bought out. Other things that can complicate the divorce would be new significant others coming into the mix during the divorce process. Nothing disaligns people faster than injecting a new love interest into the divorce, and all of a sudden we're not on the same page anymore. The two main benefits to an uncontested divorce would be timing. Under the statute in Texas, it takes 60 days after the date of filing to get divorced. So potentially you could be done with your divorce in 61, 62 days. If it's a contested case, the last statistics I saw said that the average divorce lasts about 18 months in Texas. So one big benefit to an agreement is that you can be divorced much faster. The other big advantage to an uncontested case would be that we can streamline your process quite a bit. In most cases, we're only filing a petition. We're filing a waiver of service. We don't even have to get the other party served. And then we're drafting a decree that finalizes the case. We don't need temporary orders. There's no discovery to be done. There's not any ancillary hearings that have to be attended. So the cost is much, much less. So those are the two main benefits. Another benefit of an uncontested case is that you don't have to destroy your co-parenting relationship with the other party, because y'all are in agreement on everything and in alignment. You can continue to co-parent for the benefit of the kids long after the divorce. Contested cases, we can't always say the same thing. A lot of bridges get burned during the divorce, and so co-parenting relationships can be strained for months or years after. If you're mostly in agreement, but there are a few little issues or even major issues to be worked out before you finish your divorce, the best thing that you can do is try to get some legal advice from an attorney. And even better if the other side also has counsel advising them about what the court would potentially do on this issue, so that we can try to work an agreement. Chances are there's still room to negotiate, even if y'all aren't in alignment on one or two issues. Attacking the problem early so that we can try to catch it before it really gets big and blown up would also be a wise thing to do if you see that the agreement's starting to kind of go off the rails in some area. A few more tips. If you think you have an uncontested case and there may be a little question mark somewhere as to whether or not there is a full agreement, some things that we've seen happen in this process is the parties aren't in an agreement as to terms and what their definitions are. So one party says they want a standard possession order, and the other party doesn't understand that that also would include 30 days in the summer under the code. So one way you can head off problems is if you both become educated on what the terms that you're using actually mean. And then finally, I would just say that you need to have honest conversations with your spouse. Sometimes what happens is the party that's coming in to file the case believes that they're in agreement, but it's not really that they're in agreement. It's that their spouse just avoided another fight by saying, okay. So you need to be honest with yourself about what you're wanting, and then you need to try to be able to assess what your spouse is also wanting in a adult conversation with each other.